Oceanigod, Wade Blevins, Dawadon Galele Jagedo, Kohig, Kohig Dala Du Sine Jalagia de Lo Costi, Hia, Jalagina Gine RSU TV, G Gananu Go Gon. Welcome, my name is Wade Blevins, and this is Cherokee 4 on RSU TV. Today is our 16th Cherokee lesson, I believe. So we plan on talking about classifying verbs. These are those pesky verbs that don't exist really in English, but in Cherokee, they are verbs that, depending on the shape of the item being talked about, you use a separate verb for this. And so it can be very, very confusing. And unfortunately, these are extremely common verbs. Things like hand me, go get it, have, verbs that in English we use them all the time. So we will take a look at some more of these classifying verbs. Today, I believe we're going to talk about washing, and we're going to talk a little bit about how that is dealt with in the Cherokee mind. Okay, so come, Idalena, talagi diwane. All right, let me get my slideshow up. There we go. Okay. So, really quickly, we're going to review the verb to have because, it's a very good one to know. We've been looking at it right from the beginning of this Cherokee 4 class, and we will continue to do so. So, to have something solid, this would be something like an apple, a phone, something that doesn't fit into the other categories, okay, would go into this category. So I have agiha. You have zaha. He or she has uha. So you and I have giniha. Okay. He and I have, but you don't, or she and I have oginiha. We all have igiha. We have it, but you don't, ogiha. You two have it, stiha. All of you have it, ijiha. And they have it, uniha. Okay, so now we're going to look at the past tense of that. So instead of have, it would be had. So I had it, agiha. You had it, jaha. He or she had it, uha. Okay, and you'll notice if you look here, there's an option for he under certain ones. Okay, and remember we talked about the fact that the difference between and he. One is something that is a fact. He would be used if it was reported to you, if it was a fact that was reported to you, but you did not witness it personally. And again, we talked about how in some communities these are used interchangeably, in other communities they are not. So instead of zahe, it would be zahe, uhe, uhe, okay? Giniha, you and I had it. Oginiha, he or she and I had it. Igiha, we all had it. Ogiha, we had it, but you did not. Stiha, the two of you had it. eg, huh? All of you had it. And uni, huh? They had it. Okay, and then we're going to go back to the present tense to have something living. Okay, this would be a living animal or person, right? Agi ka, I have it. Ja ka, you have it. Uwe ka, he or she has it. Gini ka, you and I have it. O gini ka, he or she and I have it. Iki ka, all of us have it. O gi ka, we have it, but you don't. Sti ka, the two of you have it. Iji ka, all of you have it. And uni ka, they have it. Okay, and then to look at the past tense of that, had. Agi kaha, da kaha, uwe kaha, gini kaha, ogini kaha, igi kaha, ogi kaha, sti kaha, iji kaha, uni kaha. Okay, and remember, just like it was in the other one, in certain instances, the huh could be changed to hey, like ja kahe, uwe kahe. Okay, for had. Having something liquid. Agihne, jahne, uhne, ginihne, oginihne, igihne, ogihne, stihne, ijihne, unihne. Okay, and that's having something liquid. Put it in the past tense, had something made of liquid. Agihneha, jahneha, unneha, ginineha, oginineha, igineha, ogineha, stihneha, ijineha, unineha. Okay? Having something long. I have something long, aguya. You have something long, juya. He or she has something long, uwuya. We two have, you and I have something long, ginuya. He or she and I have something long, oginuya. Ikuya, all of us have something long, okuya. We have something long, but you don't. Stuya, the two of you have something long, ichuya. All of you have something that's long, and unaya, they have something that's long. The past tense sounds very similar. Aguya, chuya, uwuya, ginuya, oginuya, ikuya, okuya, stuya, ichuya, unaya. Have something flexible. Agina, jana, una, ginina, oginina, igina, ogina, stina, igina, unina. Okay, all of this should be review for you. Okay, the past tense of that, agina, jana, una, ginina, oginina, igina, ogina, stina, igina, unina. All right, and then here I have the table for set B pronouns, or set B verbs and set A verbs, right? And we've been talking about that off and on. Remember, there are two types, set B and set A, and then of course there are the set B if the root starts with a vowel, and the set A that if the root starts with a vowel as well. And so here's just a table that has all of it in one spot. All right, so we're going to talking about washing or rinsing something today. And apparently, in our past, this was something that was very, very important. And in talking with speakers, and we'll talk about this more when we get to some sample sentences and things like that, but to wash something or to rinse it, it's like you're putting something in water and you're kind of swishing it around. That's how it was explained to me. I remember many, many years ago, Tojua Sikwanid Tegesa was talking about these words, and he was talking about, it was in a prayer that he was talking about, and I wish I could find it, and I'll keep looking for it in my notes and things, but I do remember he was talking about, taking your, everything that you are, your body, your spirit, your heart, and your mind. And he said, just like a raccoon would do whenever it gets something and it takes it to the edge of a stream and it swishes it around in the water, he was like, that's what this word is talking about doing. It kind of gives that image, okay? So we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about washing or rinsing something that's solid, okay? Again, this would be, like an apple, or an apple's always the thing I think of the most, but a ball, those kinds of things. So I'm washing it, guhilon, okay, guhilon, okay. You are washing it, huhilon, okay. And then he or she is washing it is also guhilon, okay. You and I are washing it, inuhilon. He or she and I, the two of us, but not you, are washing it, ostuhilon, okay. All of us are washing it, iduhilon, okay. We're washing it, however you are not, ojuhilon. The two of you are washing it, stuhilon. All of you are washing it, ijuhilon, and they are washing it, anuhilon. So I'm rinsing off an apple, sancta guhilon, okay, sancta guhilon. All right, so this is for washing dishes. And so we're going to talk about, for some reason, when you talk about washing dishes, this is the verb that most speakers prefer to use, okay, rather than the one we just talked about. But when they talk about washing dishes, they use these. And so I'm washing dishes, dekadiye, and the de sound comes from the fact that you're washing more than one. You're washing dishes, okay? Dekadiye. You are washing dishes, dehadiye, okay? He or she is washing dishes, dekadiye. You and I, we are washing dishes, denadiye. we are washing dishes. He and I are, or she and I are washing dishes. Dostudie, dostudie. So see, this verb is kind of strange. It does some odd things, right? All of us are washing dishes. De de. We're washing dishes, but you are not. Dojudie. The two of you are washing dishes. De studie. Okay. All of us, or all of you, all of y'all are washing dishes. De and they are washing dishes. Danadie. So that one's kind of a weird one, isn't it? That one's kind of strange. And we'll talk about that more in a little bit. All right, so here is another word that you can use. Now, the nice thing about this word is that this one you can use pretty much with anything, regardless of its shape or its characteristic, okay? But just be aware, you know, and you can use this word for any, but it really means you're cleaning it. You're not specifically washing it. So, you know, this could imply that you're wiping it down. It could imply, you know, you're just making it clean, right? It doesn't really specify that it's being washed in order to clean it. Whereas the words that we've looked at previous to this talk about immersing in water, putting them specifically in water. Okay. So, you know, you could even clean it by, you know, rubbing it on your shirt or whatever, you know, or wiping it down, you know. So there's, but I want to introduce this word to you because for some Cherokee speakers, there are certain things that this is the preferred way of talking about it rather than, you know, washing. They use this instead. And so we'll talk about that in a little bit. So, but anyway, I'm cleaning it. Ginagali, or ginagali. You're cleaning it. Hinagali. He or she is cleaning it. Ganagali. You and I are cleaning it. Ininagali. He and I, or she and I, are cleaning it. Ostinagali. Okay, all of us are cleaning it. Idinagali. We're cleaning it, but you aren't. Ojinagali. The two of you are cleaning it. Stinagali. All of you are cleaning it. Ijinagali. And they are cleaning it. Aninagali. Okay? So this is the word to clean. Like I said, the nice thing about this word is you can use it for anything regardless of its shape or status or anything like that. So that's the nice thing about it. But be aware when you're speaking with other speakers. There is a preference to, and I guess in English we have our preferences as well. We just don't think about it, you know, because it's just how we talk, you know. For example, usually you don't say, well, I'm cleaning the dishes, right? You know, you say, I'm washing the dishes, you know. You would say, I'm washing the car. If you say, I'm cleaning the car, at least to me, if somebody said, well, I'm cleaning my car, I would picture that they're cleaning, like cleaning up the inside, that they're taking the trash and they're putting it away and they're, vacuuming out the floors and they're, detailing it, right? So that's just to show you that even in English we have preferred verbs that we use for certain actions, even though we could use other words interchangeably, but in our the connotation of it, it brings up a different image, right? So it's the same in Cherokee, and that's what I want you to be aware of. All right. So now, if you're cleaning, we're going to look at this, okay? So if we're cleaning something that's alive, okay? So you'll notice that I have some words here in white, okay? So the reason being that if you're cleaning something white or something that's a living, some verbs are slightly different to indicate the fact that you're, that whatever it is that you're cleaning is alive. So, the biggest example that I could give is like a baby or something like that. You're cleaning off a baby or something like that. So I'm going to toggle back and forth between the two so you can see. So jinagali, I'm cleaning it. Hinagali, kanagali, that's the same. Those don't change, okay? G, see, they're exactly the same. However, if I say you and I are cleaning it and it's not alive, ini nagali, okay? But if it's something that's living, ni nagali, ni nagali, ni nagali. Okay, so you see the difference there between ini nagali and ni nagali. Okay, that and you'll notice that that's how it all changes. It changes from e to e. Okay, and that indicates that whatever it is that's being talked about is living. Okay, so osti nagali doesn't change, but edi nagali instead of ed nagali. See, ed nagali as opposed to edi nagali. Oji nagali doesn't change. Sti nagali becomes esti nagali. Okay. Eg nagali becomes eg nagali. Okay. You can see the difference there. And of course, they ani nagali doesn't change. Okay. So it's really in 4 versions that it changes. And again, these are verbs that you probably don't, or versions of the verb that you're not going to use all that often. But when you need them, it's kind of nice that you know them. And I'll admit to you that I habitually try to find ways of not using those more complicated pronoun verb forms just because I'm not as familiar with them, I, you, they, he or she, I'm pretty solid with, but the 6 in the middle, I'm like, so now's a good time to tackle it, right? Now's a good time to challenge ourselves to use them more often. All right, so now we'll go back to washing or rinsing something. So again, you can clean something alive, or you can wash or rinse something that's alive, okay? Jia gilong, that's I'm washing something that's live, like a dog, right? Hiya gilong, ge gilong, ena gilong. Okay, and you hear here again, we have that sound that indicates that it's something alive. So, oste gilong, ete gilong, oje gilong, este gilong, Ejagilon, anagilon. Okay, and that's washing or rinsing something that is living. Okay. Okay, now here is another word. Okay, for if you're bathing something, giving something a bath, right? That's alive. Can also be baptizing. It can be the word to baptize. Okay, ji ya won, ji ya won, ji ya won, he ya won, ga won, ini won, osti won, ed won, og won, sti won, eg won, ani won. Okay, and if you'll notice, I tend to take the ah out. But you can say ji ya won, he ya won, ga won, ini won, osti won, osti won, ed won, og won, sti won, eg won, ani won. Okay, you can put the ah at the end, or there are speakers that leave it out. And either way is perfectly fine. You might recognize this like da won't, okay, swimming, right? It's the same word. You're just, instead of you doing it yourself or you're bathing yourself, you're bathing something else, right? So that's the difference. Instead of bathing yourself, you're bathing something else. Gee, I won't, right? Okay, see, here's God don't want, I'm taking a bath. Okay, so God don't want is I'm taking a bath. Or it can be I'm swimming, right? God don't want. But if I were bathing a child, gee, I won't, gee, I won't. Okay, see the difference? God don't want, I'm taking a bath. Gee, I won't, I'm bathing somebody else or something else. I could be bathing a dog, I guess. Gee, I won't. Okay? God don't want, ha don't want. You're taking a bath or you're swimming. Ah don't want. He or she is taking a bath. He or she is swimming, as opposed to ga want, right? Ina don't want. You and I are bathing or we're swimming. Osta don't want. He or she and I are bathing or taking a bath or swimming. Ita don't want. All of you or all of us. Ita don't want. All of us are swimming or taking a bath. Oja don't want. We're taking a bath, but you aren't. Sta don't want. The two of you are taking a bath or you're swimming. Ija don't want. All of you are swimming or taking a bath. Ana don't want. They are swimming or taking a bath. Okay, so here is washing or rinsing something that is long. Okay, like a broom or a mop or a stick or and again, well, there are some things that go under this category that I find unusual, and I'm sure you will too, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. But gu ilon, gu ilon, hu ilon, gu ilon. Okay, gu ilon, I'm washing something long. Hu ilon, you're washing something long. Gu ilon, he or she is washing something long. Inu ilon, you and I are washing something long. Ostu ilon, he and I are washing something long. Idu ilon, all of us are washing something long. Oju ilon, we're washing it, but you aren't. Stu ilon, two of you are doing it. Ichu ilon, all of you are doing it. Anu ilon, they are doing it. Okay, they're washing or rinsing something. okay? And then something that is flexible, okay? Gilon, 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 okay? All right. So now we've gone through all of that. And so you might be thinking, man, that's a lot, and that's really confusing, and that's really a pain. And why in the world would we have so many words to talk about, putting something in the water? And I've thought about this, and this is my personal theory, is that traditionally we have always had a really close relationship with water. It's a part of our ceremonies. When we go to water during certain times of the year. And water was, of course, an important part of our lives in the Smoky Mountains. Of course, there are lots and lots of springs and streams and rivers and creeks and all of those things. All of our villages and all of our homes traditionally were built near water because it was used as a mode of transportation. So I think that's why we have so many words that talk about the different ways that we utilize water and the different ways that we interact with the water. I think it's kind of like the same way as how tribes, say up north, have, many different words for the word snow. Because snow is a big part of their lives, is a big part of their culture. It's something that they deal with a lot. So they have lots of different words for it, for describing the different ways that snow manifests itself. And I think it's the same for us. I think we have a lot of words for how we interact with water, And then as modern times came, we had to figure out from the words that we had to figure out how to use those words, right? To apply to different situations. Of course, we probably didn't think about, washing things with soap and water, because we didn't really have soap before. And then once we had soap, we were like, oh, well, okay, but, we already had this word for kind of rinsing something or dunking it in and swishing it around. And so those words just evolved even as our methods of cleaning have evolved, from going to the stream and washing it to washing them in a tub, to our mechanical washers that we have now. I don't know. We still use the same verbs to talk about washing, even though we're not physically, dunking something in water and swishing it around anymore. We're not doing that, but we still use those same verbs to talk about it, right? So anyway, so what we're going to do now is we're going to practice a little bit. I'm going to give you some sentences in Cherokee, and I'm going to see if you can guess what they're saying, okay? So, so here are 4 sentences. You might notice that we didn't have a verb for washing water, right? Or washing something liquid, because we don't do that, right? So, so we just have for something solid, something long, something alive, and for something flexible. So here are 4 sentences. I'll give you a few minutes to look through them. See if you can read them on your own. So let's take number 1. number 1 there, let's see if you can read it on your own before I read it for you. So if you need to, get your syllabary chart out if you need to. Otherwise, try to do it without. So first try to see if you can sound out the sounds, and then see if you can translate it into English. So I'll give you just a couple seconds to do that, give you some time to look at it. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. So let's see this first one. S, ga, ta, s, who, he, long. Okay, so this first word, sagatas, sagatas, sanctas, sanctas, hui long, sanctus, hui long. Okay, so this first word, sancta, hopefully you came up with apple. The s is going to make it a question. Hui long is you are rinsing it, right? You're swishing it in the water. So are you rinsing off an apple? Let's see how close we were. Ah, are you rinsing the apple? Sanctus hui long. Sanctus hui long. Okay, let's do the second one. I'll give you just a few minutes to see if you can figure out, read it in Cherokee and then translate it to English. I'll give you just a little bit of time. See if you can do it on your own. Okay. Use your syllabary chart if you need to. Okay, let's try this first word. Gi, kli, git, or gitli. Ji, ya, won. Okay, gitli, ji, ya, won. Gitli, ji, ya, won. Okay. So, gitli is a dog. Hopefully you got that. Ji ya won't. Ji ya won't would be I am bathing it. I'm giving it a bath, right? So this hopefully says I'm giving the dog a bath, right? I'm bathing the dog. Now, if the sentence said ki tli a da won't, ki tli a da won't, how would that change the sentence? So instead of ji ya won't, it would be God or da won't. So then it would say the dog is swimming, right? Or maybe the dog is taking a bath on his own, right? But ji ya won't means I'm giving the dog a bath, okay? Git ji ya won't. Okay, let's do number 3. Let's see how well you do on it. Give you just a little bit to read it on your own. And see if you can come up with what it might be saying. Okay, so let's read it together. Se lu, de gu hi lo, me li. So se lu, de gu hi lo, me li. Okay. So se lu, corn, de gu hi lo is he or she is washing more than one thing that's long. Mary is Mary. So Mary is the one doing it. Mary is washing the corn on the cob, right? De gu hi long. So if we go back to something long, gu i long, okay, de gu i long, okay, de gu hi long. Se lu, de gu hi lo me li. Se lu, de gu hi lo me li. Okay, the last one. See if you can read this, okay? Okay. Okay. Okay, let's read through it together. Ju law ski. Julosk. Julosk. That's a kettle, right? Or a pot. Di na won. Di na won. That's clothing. De ge gi lo skon. De ge gi lo skon. Okay. De ge gi lo skon. So she is washing them right now. Okay, so to translate that, Juloski di no deka gilosko. Okay, she's washing clothes in a pot. Okay, Juloski di no deka gilosko. Okay, so she's washing clothing in a pot. So Juloski di no deka gilosko. Okay, she's washing clothes in a pot. So let's read back through them again. Sanctus hui long. Are you rinsing the apple? Gitli chi yawon. I'm giving the dog a bath. Selu deguhi lo meli. Mary is washing the corn. Specifically, if we look back through here, it's something long. So we know that the corn that she's washing is still on the cob, right? Selu deguhi lo meli. Then the last one says, Juloski di no deguhi lo skon. Okay, so you could also say deguhi lo, okay? She washes she washes clothing in a pot. Deguhi lo skon is like the present progressive. She's doing it right now. And a good example of that would be dagilastane, means I work, right? Dagilastane. Dagilastane hon means I habitually work. That on at the end means something that's done, or ganeltisko, right? Ganelti, I try. Ganeltisko, I'm trying, right? Again, some speakers don't use that skon as often. They just use the regular present tense. Some use it all the time. And so just be aware that those are two differences. Okay? So let's, I'm going to read one of these 4 sentences to you, and you're going to tell me what it means in English. Okay? So if I say, Gitlichi yawon, Gitlichi yawon, what am I saying then? Gitlichi yawon, Gitlichi yawon, Gitlichi yawon. I'm giving the dog a bath. I'm bathing the dog. How about Sanctus hu hi long? Sanctus hu hi long? Sanctus hu hi long? Are you rinsing off an apple? Sanctus hu hi long? What about Julaski din no won't the cookie losko? Julaski din no won't the cookie losko? Okay, and that would be he or she is washing clothes in a pot, right? What about Selu de guhilo meli? Selu de guhilo meli? That's Mary is washing the corn, right? Or Mary is washing the corn on the cob. Specifically, she's rinsing it in water, right? Deguhilo. Okay. So, all right. So there they are. There are the sentences. Hopefully that's helping them, or that's helping you. These are very complicated, you know, and that's okay. So I would suggest to you, you know, look at these sentences, you know, and see how you might come up with some sentences on your own. So, for example, we could take that Sanctus hu hi long, are you rinsing the apple? And we could say, are you rinsing the ball, right? So how would you ask, are you rinsing the ball? Squatlestis hu hi long, are you rinsing off the ball? Right? Instead of I'm bathing the dog, maybe you're bathing the baby. So how would you say I'm bathing the baby? Ustichi yawon, ustichi yawon. I'm bathing the baby. I'm giving the baby a bath. Right? Could also be I'm baptizing the baby, I guess, but so Mary is washing the corn. Selu deguhilo meli. How would you say Tom is washing his gun? Okay? I don't know why you would wash a gun, but you might. I mean, you know. So Tom is washing the gun. Galoque, guhilon, Tom. Okay, you wouldn't need the day in front of there because you only have one gun, probably, right? So galoque, guhilon, Tom. And then washing clothes in a pot. Instead of she's washing clothes, she could be washing, how would you say she's washing a shirt? So she's washing a shirt. No gagilosko. Okay? No gagilosko. Okay? No gagilosko. All right, so that brings us to the end of today's lesson. Hopefully you got a lot of benefit from it. There's a lot of really good stuff in here. And when we come back next time, we're gonna talk more about these verbs and how we can use them. And some interesting things about classifying verbs that maybe you never thought of. So anyway, from all of us here at RSU TV and Cherokee Nation, I just want to say, wadon, don dago ha'i.